materialism, pluralism, dualism, naturalism, and all forms of idealism had their roots in Indian philosophy. Scientists of India should be leading the way in the study and presentation of these ideas that the West is only beginning to discover, rather than following the hardline materialistic science, and that has dominated the scene for too long. Not that the material side is to be neglected, but a synthesis is needed that will explain both sides in an overarching worldview that doesn't lose sight of the spiritual dimension of life. We know that life possesses qualities beyond the limits of our physical descriptions. In spite of all the claims of its origin from inanimate molecules, a fundamental quality of life is consciousness. The dominant scientific view of past 200 years has been that these ultimate principles consist of a few basic natural laws which can be expressed by mathematical formulas. Before I close, I would hope that by the end of the conclusion of this workshop, we may have more clarity about better deep connections between the two. Thank you very much.
Before I hand it over to Dr. Anupma, may I request my colleagues from FMS, Dr. Simrit Kaur, to offer a memento. We have brought this Tulsi plant as a symbol of spirituality to Madam Dikshit. May I request Dr. Mala Sinha to offer it to Dr. Dinesh Singh ji. To offer it to Professor B.K. Das. May I request Dr. Devduti Das, who is also one of the members of the organizing committee, to offer it to Professor Mam Kucham, Dean FMS. May I request Professor B.K. Seth to offer it to Professor Vivek Suneja, from a colleague to another colleague. Professor Seth is not here. May I call Mr. Narayan? Mr. Narayan to offer it to Professor Vivek Suneja.
Of our Chief Minister of Delhi, Srimati Sheila Dikshit. May I now request you, ma'am, to please share the opening address with us. Professor Dinesh Singh, Mr. Mamakutam, all the other distinguished professors who are sitting on the dais, including Mr. Das and all the others who have gathered here today, and of course the students. I would like to congratulate you on this, what I think is a very bold and first step towards finding the integration between mathematics and spirituality. All that I understand about both these subjects is that they are critical for human civilization. Without mathematics, I don't think we will be where we have reached, right? Neither in our thought process, nor in the greatest discoveries that have been made in this past 1 or 2 centuries, and of course in the current centuries. All that we see, the physical scientific development, which makes living for larger and larger and larger populations of the to live more comfortably, and to also be able to access them where it was not possible some years ago. I don't know if mathematics is used in plants and in the growth of plants and all, but had it not been for the kind of food production that we have in the world today, this world would not have been, this earth would not have been able to feed the 5 billion plus human beings who now reside in this world. But mathematics is to those who do not know anything about it, and for me especially, it's a subject which I dare not even approach because I don't understand it, except 2 plus 2 makes 4, and its precision is there. Apart from that, I don't think I have any understanding of mathematics. Though I did have a family from my mother's side who were mostly mathematicians. And all that I had the view of those mathematicians, my uncles and all who were there, all that the view that I had of them, that they were very, very good. One of them was also in the early 30s or 40s or something, also considered for a Nobel Prize in mathematics. So it looked like something that was, you know, only done by those who had a lot of cerebral matter, had a lot of grey matter, and that they were people who, you know, really worked towards making civilization a much more civilized place, and for the comfort that the discoveries, that their discoveries would bring to the comfort of mankind. Where spirituality is concerned, I think it's to me, it's a very personal thing. There are many ways to spirituality. What do you feel? How do you react to situations? How the kind of human being you become. And having become the kind of human being you have become, how is it that your vibes go to many others who are around you or who are, as a community, in touch with you? Now, so spirituality becomes a more personalized way of attaining the kind of satisfaction, the kind of compassion, the kind of affection, the kind of regard, the kind of tranquility, and above all the kind of belief in the fact that yes, there are differences, and those differences are acceptable differences. Our differences amongst each one of us, amongst various religions, amongst various social groups, amongst many, many people. I was reading a very interesting little book, which probably has something to do with mathematics, it was a story, so it wasn't a book on mathematics. But it opened my mind to a lot of things. That the Vedas and our old cultural stories, whether it was the Ramayana or the localized stories like Babuji in Rajasthan or a goddess in some other area or part of the country, where long poems had been written, or the story, came the reading of books. So the attention grew from just memorizing things into reading books, so that you became, you got your knowledge through books. Now, the third phase, in which we are currently living, is today, the visual things that we see, the visual televisions, the visual cinema, the visual photographs, etc. that we see. So what has happened, there has been a change in the memory pattern. You were memorized purely on the basis of your memory, of your mind, and there were castes and creeds and communities which did nothing but memorize their poems. And then we came to the point where books became important and you started reading them, and your attention span became almost much wider and much more concentrated. But in today's world, I find that the attention span has gone down enormously. You just flip through so many things, you go through about 28 channels, and what I find in my own amongst my own friends and people I interact with, that you're just sort of flipping through one bit of knowledge to another. Now, is that knowledge or is it just information? So from learning by heart, by memorizing, to reading in books, and now coming to a point where we merely go more by information rather than a study of that information or a deeper study of what we need to really know. Now, there are both good points and bad points in this, but I'm sure your two-day conference will bring out issues and areas which need to be taken forward. How the compatibility, I am assuming, is what you're trying to bring around, Professor Das, is the compatibility between mathematical science and spirituality. As I have said, I know a little bit more of spirituality because each one of us goes through it. You need not go through mathematics individually, but you do go through some phase of spirituality, all of us need. In modern management, an amalgamation of both these, where we are working for better physical achievements, but we are also working towards internalizing how do we manage to face these huge dimensions of innovations that have come around. Can we cope up with them? Is the mind or the spirit or the whatever you want to call it, is it coping well with what is happening in the world around us? Are we absorbing it well enough? Are we bringing in happiness within ourselves and therefore spreading it all around? I think these are the two challenges perhaps you will try and resolve, because most of you are from the management sector, and in management I guess you need both of them, both precision and an internalization of what am I doing, where am I going, is it only for my greed or is it only for my need, to quote Mahatma Gandhi, or how are we going to be able to absorb this huge knowledge that is available to each and every mind today. It also reminds me of the fact that when we were children, we were told that about 1/10 or 1/100th of your mind was really being used. Now, increasingly, the mind is being used much more. It's being oiled much better. It's got better information. But is that information sustainable? Or is it just passive information that each one of us absorbs? Now, these are the challenges that you face. All that I can say is I wish you all well, and I do hope that things will come out from here, because all of us in today's world of rush and grab and take, we need to internalize ourselves and say, yes, this is where my physical requirements are, and this is where my mental and spiritual requirements begin. So how do we amalgamate the two so that both balance each other out and we turn out to be a much better civilization than we are witnessing all over the world